Okay, so now we're on to the third victim. Uh, they're playing up the idea that these women came from the poor side of whichever city in Florida this is, and I believe, well, she's not living in a impoverished house now. That she's definitely not. Okay, but she says she came from a really poor part of Florida. Her parents, all the normal problems, drug addiction and all that kind of stuff. The usual. And I haven't watched this, but the last one, she's saying she's not a very good actor. Jeffrey Epstein had a phenomenal talent for picking up dumbos, although that's hard. Like, cause they're passing around notes at the high school. I don't think this was an impoverished high school, so I don't know if I did this already, but it's like, so this girl gave me a message one day. Would I like to give hand jobs for old man? That's my whatever. And whatever. She's one of these, right? She's like 35 or 40 now. And so she's like, well, I don't know. It sounds kind of gross. But anyway, whatever. And so and she goes over to his house and she does this. And now she's like 35 years later. And she's got to say, they show another picture of when she's like 11. And then they're talking to her. And, she's got to go into... before I met Jeffrey Epstein, I was like a flower opening up. Like, really? Did you need to go into... You were a flower opening up before you met Jeffrey Epstein? Like, is this really the time for this sort of narcissism? It's on Netflix. Filthy Rich is called Epstein. I spent a lot of time looking at absolutely pathetic things. This kind of... monstrous stupidity and lunacy and debauchery and corruption and evil. And this is absolutely phenomenal to me. So let's hear what this one says. She seems... she's rich now. I believe she was pretty poor when Epstein picked her up. We'll see. So she's about 40, but she's got purple hair. So when you first look at her, she looks, oh my God, she's still a teenager now, right? But no, she's not a teenager. She's a 40-year-old woman trying to look like a teenager. Looks absolutely ridiculous. A nice fashion sense. Like, right off the bat, you're kind of, oh, that's pretty cool. She was a good-looking person. Am I allowed to say woman anymore? She was definitely a good-looking person. And now she's like a parody of herself, I guess. Okay, so this one is her mom gets involved with a psycho. If you could prevent women from getting sexually involved with psychos, the psychiatric institutions and the prisons would empty in 5 minutes. Of course, you got to blame the men too, but the biological unit, there was a reason for that. And that was to make sure that every guy got a woman and every woman got a guy. Not that 5% of the guys got 100% of the women all the time. That was not the idea. And so now who knows how she'll look at this, but her mom gets involved with a psycho and they beat her little brother to death. There you go. That's what happens when you marry, when you take a romantic interest in the dominant male. Is they beat your kid to death in front of your other kid. Okay, this is definitely... She said she was 14 when she first met Jeffrey Epstein. She was early bloomer. No question about that. She's got a 14-year-old face. She doesn't have a 14-year-old body. Okay, so this is the one that is for real.
Going to this guy's house. I can't. She says, yeah, we both.
Okay, this is for real. Her friend takes her there. They go into the room. They take off their clothes.
Me and my 14-year-old
And there's two 14-year-olds giving them a hand job.
Old man in the cell.
And everybody knew. Everybody knew this was happening the whole time. It's impossible they didn't know. All of them knew.
Then this guy.
Everybody knew what was happening. They might have been off by a year or two, but they knew. All of them. FBI knew. The neighbors knew. All the celebrity people knew. Everybody that was running the high school knew. The kids knew. Everybody knew.
He wanted me to rub the lotion that we were using like all over his chest, and he's told
This
me
is
to
like out of
his nipples and squeeze and pinch as hard.
what was that with the butterfly thing?
And I
You
just
take the
like,
massage
I
and
just
rub it
remember
into your
standing
skin. You
there
know what
just being
that guy
like,
was?
What is going on? Like, this is so
This is a
weird.
true
I just
victim.
couldn't wrap my head around it. I was like, what the fuck is this? I'm 14 years old.
Yeah, I wanted to go. Oh, she doesn't. She kind of looks all right. She doesn't look all right. She looks like a 40-year-old with purple hair. It's absolutely ridiculous.
So I just
Absolutely, stunningly.
I was so embarrassed. I didn't know how to say, like, no, I don't want to do that.
Did you go back? Of course you went back. Okay, this one. Okay, I'm done with this one.
I don't know how long it was after the first time I had gone over there, but I one day got a phone call.
Yeah.
They called me a cab to take me to Jeff's.
Of course she goes
There was
back. Her
no
parents.
explanation.
Where was she living? If her
Took a cab to Jeff's.
psycho stepfather murdered her. She lived in foster homes, and she lived with her
I went back, I would get more money.
pretty morbidly obese grandmother.
I didn't have any money.
Oh my God! What a horrible story, man. Wow.
I just
Oh, this
didn't
is
know
horrible.
how to handle it.